Hi, friends. If you watched the last few days, you know that my wife and I were up in Northwest Pennsylvania for a family wedding. And the groom had asked folks to bring instruments. I was specifically asked to bring a bunch of whistles. And our friend Jonathan Shagog, part of our community, was asked to bring whistles. Other family members brought instruments, and a lot of the folks in the family have been playing a long time and play together and have gone and played gigs, and they're much more experienced and accomplished than I. But I was honored and excited to do that. I was intimidated. We'll talk about that in a minute. But my first impression, and I'm going to share some of my impressions of playing in my first session. My first impression is, wow, so much fun. I'm going to share some video in this video, so be ready for that to join in. Second, playing in a session is intimidating. But I have some recommendations that will help us. So here's a quick clip of some of our time together. And in the clips, you'll see folks in the background talking, having a good time. We're outside of the hall at the church building. There's some folks inside still hanging out, listening to other music. There's some, might see in one of the clips, some children over on the side dancing. It was just amazing. So here is the first clip from the reception. So like I said, Jonathan was there, and I'm sure you recognize Jonathan. He's playing I believe in that clip, he's playing a high D whistle. Then the gentleman playing the fiddle, that is actually Angel's husband, Josh. The guy on the accordion, that is Josh's dad, Brian. And so it's tons of family. And all playing, the fellow playing the bodhran is actually another brother-in-law. The guys in the guitars were an uncle out of the family, my contemporary dear friend we were staying with, and then Josh's brother. So, and then the guy playing the flute, I didn't get a good picture of him in the video, but wow, he's brilliant, and he's came back into town specifically for the wedding. So anyway, here's some recommendations, I think, for jumping into your first session. You're going to have to find one first. See, I live in Northeast Tennessee. I have learned that there is a session or two about an hour south of me, and having been up in Northwest Pennsylvania at the wedding and playing with other folks, a spark has been lit for me to try this out. So you've got to find a session first. And I've walked us through how to do that from the session website. And so I'll put a card up at the top to my instructions as to how you could use the session website to find, some things that are happening around you, like sessions or other players. Then you're going to have to learn if this session is open to other people joining in. And most of them are. But they also then publish a skill level, an anticipated skill level. And whether you're able to join in or not is a simple question. Hey, do you welcome other folks? And how good are you? or y'all. Now, if the session is close to where you live, go and just experience it and see what's happening, see what they're doing, see how quickly they're playing, see how skilled they all are, and that might intimidate you even more. I don't know. We'll see. Now, the important thing to do while you're there is to ask for like a session list. What are the main tunes you all play? I neglected to do that when we went to Pennsylvania. So there were a number of tunes that I either didn't know or didn't know well. It's a little, I mean, that was my own fault. I should have checked ahead. And so I played like some background in agreement chord music with the tunes I didn't know. So find out, would you share with me your session list? And they're happy to do that if this is an open session. But remember, if you're joining a session, you're blending in, you're joining in. There's already a leader. You're just there to fill it out and to have a blast and to learn as well. And there are some sessions where, you're expected to be very, very proficient. But there are a lot of sessions where you're not expected to be incredibly proficient. Here's another little clip. What I'd like you to notice is the young lady sitting next to Brian. Brian's playing the accordion. Okay, so they live in an area where there's a lot more active Irish community, and so she's taking lessons learning to play the tin whistle. She had an inexpensive high D, and she borrowed some of our nicer high Ds, and she was having fun playing. But Brian said, sit next to me and I'll help you. And he did. And he's like, okay, play this. And she could read music, and he had music there. And so he's like, okay, we're going to do this now. And so, play that line and take your time. If you don't hit every note, don't worry about it. If you don't feel like you're comfortable with it, join in when you are. Play quietly, play louder when you're comfortable. Don't worry about it. We're here to have a good time. And so you should get that kind of experience if it is a session where other people are welcome and it's not like a professional grade players. So that's helpful. So look for a session near you. Learn what the set list is. Learn if it's a session that would welcome you. Go and experience it. Go and take your whistle. For me, I kind of hung in the back because I wasn't sure how I do. I didn't want to be front and center. I mean, Jonathan's sitting there cooking away, and I'm kind of standing behind him. And there were a couple of tunes I could play along with, but like I said, I didn't know most of them. So learn the music that are the most likely tunes they're going to play. Learn them well enough that you won't feel overwhelmed when you get there. That'll cut down on that intimidation. Another thing you could do to prep is find some slow sessions or some recorded sessions. On the external resources page of my website that I'll link in the notes to this video, I've got like some slow sessions on YouTube and another website that you could check out. You just play along with them. Or there are some online sessions, and the session website shares some of those. Some you've got to pay for. I'm not going to do that. Some are free, and I haven't tried that yet, but I'm going to. So I've done some of the play along with some of the recorded slow sessions on YouTube and a website. So that's really helpful. That will help prepare you without that'll minimize the intimidation of the event. So anyway, try it out. If it's possible for you to experience a session, try it out. Go and sit there meet some of the people, hang out for a bit, find out their set list, practice their set list, make sure you're welcome to join in. Come back on an evening when you can join in and just start playing quietly. Keep doing it, and you'll start becoming more and more and more comfortable. And you're going to have a blast. Anyway, after my first experience of a session at a wedding, a family wedding, I thought I wanted to share some of my reflections with you all, as much as an encouragement as anything else. So, my friends, I hope that's helpful. Until next time, this is Scott Shade. Happy whistling.